What is up, everyone? Welcome into the video. My name's Jonathan Messer, host of Booby Sports Show, and in this video we're going to be predicting the Indiana-Alabama second round playoff game, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. It's been raining. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but let's hop right into this. So, what do we got for Alabama? Well, we're coming off of a big win against Oklahoma. They were down 17-0 in that game. Ended up fighting back, coming back. Ty Simpson was 18 of 29 for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. Daniel Hill running the ball had 9 carries, 43 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 4.8 yards a carry against a really good defense in Oklahoma with a really good front. I think we kind of saw the breakout of Lotsair Brooks. I think he had 78 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. They didn't turn the ball over, and that's something they did heavily against Oklahoma the first time. They turned the ball over bad. One of the things that they didn't do so well was third down conversions. They were 2 of 12 on third down. That's not good at all, and that's not going to win you a game against a really good team in Indiana. But it seemed like they did the right things at the right time, pretty opportunistic when they struck, and they ended up getting the win. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what Indiana was the last time. All right, so Indiana goes out and they beat they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, 13-10, low-scoring game, but they got it done nonetheless. Mendoza was 15 for 23, 222 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He obviously, first play of the game, he got rocked on a sack. I don't remember if he took a sack or got rid of the ball, but he got lit up in the backfield. Had to go out for a little bit, came back in and played a pretty good game. Elijah Surratt got hurt in that game, but he's back. I think he's playing. I believe he's full go, but he is playing. They had 222 rushing yards in that game. That's a huge stat right there, because that just goes to show you what they have in the backfield, and Roman Hemby and Keelan Black. They can lean on really good teams. We know how good Ohio State was, and for them to run the ball for 222 yards, really good. They were 6 of 13 on third down. That is very good, right? Just a little bit under 50%. That's an elite third down conversion rate, and that's where you want to be at, especially at this point in the year. If you're converting on just under 50% of third downs against really good teams, that's where you want to be. I said we were talking about last game, and sadly, technically not in the game, but Stephen Daly goes down and gets hurt celebrating after the game. He wasn't doing anything stupid. He jumped up to dap up a fan, and he came down and tore his ACL, which sucks, man. It really sucks. I feel bad for him, his whole team. That's horrible. But they're going to be without him, and that is a big piece for them on defense. And Alabama will be looking to take advantage of that. Okay, let's get into some of these teams right now. Ty Simpson looks like he's back. Josh Pate said October Ty. If he plays like that against Indiana, they'll be in for a good day. Like I said, Lotsair Brooks really stepped up, especially in the absence of Ryan Williams. There's no secret why Ryan Williams' play has been insufficient, and they've missed him a lot. But Lotsair Brooks stepping up has been a big help. Daniel Hill runs the ball, very, very tough. He's a tough runner. Jam Miller should be pretty full go. He's going to be as healthy as he's been since the beginning of the season. So he should be pretty much full go. Daniel Hill is a bruiser. He'll run through you. He's a very opportunistic runner. And what I mean by that is, in the scenarios in which it's needed, he can get you a few extra yards. He's going to get that first down. 2 yards, he'll lean forward. He's a legend in my JMU dynasty on NCAA, so I'm biased towards him a lot. But, yeah, he's a really good running back and could help out. Josh Cuevas being back is huge. He had 4 receptions for 43 yards last week against Oklahoma, and that's going to be that is a real impact guy. Because you think about all these receivers on the outside, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, Latzer Brooks, if Ryan Williams isn't insufficient. So you look at these guys and you think, wow, spread out that defense and just let them go. But you got a dude on the inside too who you can bring outside. But like I said, you got him on the inside and he's going to be playing in that slot. He can be in the hip, attached to the line, in the sniffer, H-back. So it just adds a whole new element that Indiana's going to have to prepare for. And like I said, pertaining to Jam Miller, pretty much the whole team is healthier. And if any team needed it, it was Bama. So they got all this time to heal up. That's big. Indiana offensively. Mendoza is what Mendoza is. He's a great leader. He's a great person. He's a really good quarterback. He's a game manager who can win you a game. But in my opinion, he's not like the craziest thing we've ever seen. He makes the right passes. He's insanely smart, but he doesn't run the most explosive brand of offense. And in my opinion, that's what beats Bama. When you look at Bama, like teams that have played them, the explosive plays, the 15, 20-plus plays, yard plays are what kill them. And not necessarily the sheer amount of them, it's what it does to the defense. That deflates the defense. When you just keep hitting big play after big play, that sucks. Omar Cooper, Elijah Surratt, Charlie Becker, E.J. Williams, that's 4 guys in the receiving corps. This is probably the best receiving corps Bama has seen. And they look across the field and they see a receiving corps that's just as good as they are. And I really think that's the first time I could say that for Alabama. I touched on them before, but Roman Hemby and Keelan Black, great running back duo. Those guys get it done real well. Roman Hemby, I believe he has 900, and I think Keelan Black has 800. I might be mixing it might be the other way around, but both are really good running backs and will pose a threat for Bama. Defensively for Bama, they are 31st against the run, so some of that can play a role in here. When you have 2 running backs that are that close to 1,000 yards, you got a great running back duo, and they have a great offensive line. Indiana's offensive line is one of the best in the nation, so Bama's a little bit susceptible to the run. That could be a key here, especially with the rain pouring. We'll see how it goes. Bama's 15th against the pass, which is really good. And don't get me wrong, 31st against the run is good. That's a mark that you like to hit as a coach. Obviously, you want to be a little bit higher. That just shows they're a little bit susceptible. I don't want to overplay that because that means they're still good against the run. But like I said, they're 15th against the pass. It depends on what shows up because Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb, Damani Jackson, all those dudes, that's a great secondary when they want to be. But at times they haven't played up to it. And honestly, guys, I have it written down in all caps and boxed out and starred. Which Bama team shows up? Because that will depend on the whole game. If the Bama we saw against Oklahoma in the second half shows up, this game will be very close and Bama can win. If the first half Bama shows up, predominantly the first quarter, they might get beat pretty bad. So we'll see. Defensively for Indiana, like I said, Stephen Daly is out. You know, that it sucks, but you got Tyreek Tucker on the inside there and Elijah Hardy on the outside. He's going to have to hold down the pressure. He's going to have to steady bring it because you're not going to get the same pressure up the middle that they got. Obviously, Tyreek Tucker is still there, but when you're used to having 2 defensive linemen who can wreak havoc and get to the quarterback, you can sometimes see insufficiencies in defensive lines, especially if guys are trying so hard to get up the field because they know a guy like Stephen Daly isn't playing. They create vertical running lanes for quarterbacks or running backs and draw scenarios. So it's hopefully they don't overcompensate. They're 3rd against the run. Great run-stopping defense. Bama does not run the ball well, so that's not. usually that's something we look at and we're like, wow, okay, that could be a key to this game. But Bama doesn't run the ball at all, so it's really not as important to me. They're 22nd against the pass. There are plays to be made against the secondary, but they are really good. This game kind of just depends on Ty Simpson. We're going to jump straight into this. Some of my keys to this game, and it really is what Ty Simpson shows up, what Bama offense shows up. Ty Simpson can cut this defense up if he's on cue. If not, this defense can make plays on the football, and there's a chance that Bama's not able to move the ball because they can't supplement in the run. How much does the rain affect this game? Bama can't run the ball, might just have to stick to passing. If it's pouring down during the game, if it's rainy, and they are forced to run the ball, keep the ball on the ground, it's a time of possession type of game. That doesn't square well for Bama. That's Indiana's type of football game, and I don't know if Bama can win it like that because they cannot run the ball. Goes hand in hand with my next key play here. Can Bama run the ball at all? If they can get what they got from Daniel Hill last game in the Oklahoma game, then they have a chance. Just supplement a little bit on first down. And Jam Miller's back healthy. On first down, 3 yards. On 3rd and 2, can I get a first down? That's all it is. Stay ahead of the sticks. 4 yards on first down. Just stay ahead of the sticks. Just a little bit. I think if Daniel Hill comes out here and averages another 5 yards a carry, Bama has a really good shot at winning this game. Stephen Daly's out up front, so we'll see how much of a role that plays into it. Bama's offensive line has been inconsistent at times. Which O-line shows up? How many yards a clip does Indiana get on the ground in this game? Because Bama was hurt by the run in the Georgia game. They got killed by explosive passes, but they were killed by the run too. Georgia was getting 3 to 4 yards a clip, and if that happens, Bama can't counterpunch. They don't have the type of run game that can counterpunch with that, especially if it gets to a time of possession battle. I don't think they can supplement their passing game. I've said that a million times. I need to stop being repetitive. I just think it's so important to note that. So, this right here really is going to set the tone here. Bama, can they get to Mendoza? Ohio State had 3 sacks, I believe, against Mendoza. I think Bama's pass rush just as a whole is better. I think Caden Curry is a better pass rusher than anybody on Alabama. But just as a unit, I think Bama does a really good job rushing the passer. If they can get to Mendoza and they don't let Indiana get into easy running situations, keep Indiana behind the sticks, Bama can really get a rhythm going on defense, keeping them behind the sticks. They can win. Okay, let's go into some of the betting stuff. Indiana is favored by 7.5 points. That's a lot, and it's a shock to the senses in a game like this between two teams like these, two programs who have had complete different histories. Indiana's money line is minus 255, and Bama's money line is plus 210. So that goes to show you that there is a significant gap on a neutral field between these teams and odds makers' eyes. That's important to note. Over-under here is 47.5, so it's not looking to be too high scoring. Okay, I obviously picked Indiana to win this game in my prediction for my college football playoff. I just got that feeling that Bama's going to come in here and do it. I think Ty Simpson shows up. The rain is kind of subsided. If it picks back up, I could be looking like a complete idiot. I could look like an idiot either way. But I think it's important to note that Ty Simpson can cut this Indiana defense up. Stephen Daly not being there gives me a little faith in Bama to be able to supplement the run just a little bit. I think they get into the Rose Bowl, and I think they win a very, very close, low-scoring game. Just counterpunch after counterpunch, and I think Bama gets in there and gets it done. Usually, I can say Bama out-athletes them. Indiana's got great athletes. I don't think they're just going to go out there and out-athlete them. I think they're going to cut them up and just make few opportunistic plays and do the right things in the right time. And sadly, end Indiana's magical run. Thank you guys for tuning into the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to help grow the channel. I hope you all enjoy watching the games, and have a great new year. Jesus saves. God bless.